Valley of Souls is the story of Jose, a fisherman who, after a long night's work, returns home to find that his two elder sons have been killed by the paramilitaries and their bodies have been thrown into the river. And he embarks on a journey to find their bodies in order to give them a proper burial and prevent their souls from wandering endlessly. Nico, the director, Nicolas Rincon, got in touch with me after seeing some of my previous work. Initially, he was, I would say, reluctant to work with someone as a cinematographer because he had shot his first films by himself. But I think in the work of mine that he saw, he discovered a similar sensibility to the one that he has. And we started a relationship which, in the end, became one of the most beautiful relationships I've had with a director on a film.
Santa Cruz de Mayo.
Santa Cruz de Mayo.
A mi casa vas.
A mi casa vas.
Líbrame de males.
Líbrame de males.
Y de Satanás.
Y de Satanás.
The visual universe of the film is something that was developed throughout a long period of time. So every single shot in the film was something that was, let's say, crafted beforehand. We both, especially him, of course, but also myself, we come from documentary backgrounds. That means we are very close to the documentary way of approaching films, which meant that in a film like this, we were always in the capacity to react to what was offered to us. You know, we were shooting in a river under difficult conditions, so we didn't impose ourselves on nature because it's impossible to do that. We embraced what nature gave us. Weather-wise and in general, it was a huge challenge to make this film, but I had an amazing crew. You know, I had an amazing gaffer, an amazing grip, key grip. I had an amazing focus puller. You know, it was. They all allowed us to make this film in a way where you see it and you don't think about the way it was made, but you just flow in the river with Jose. For me, when thinking about which equipment I would shoot the film on, it was pretty clear that ARRI equipment is the one that I would go for, just because I'm very familiar with the equipment. And of course, from a, let's say, technical point of view, the challenges with weather, with humidity, with heat are something that didn't end up worrying me a lot because I knew that the equipment would hold up just fine. We didn't want the camera to move without Jose moving. We allowed the character to move the camera. We weren't dogmatic in the sense that we said we were only going to shoot the film from sticks or only going to shoot the film handheld. It was, for Nicolas, it was something that he was reluctant towards handheld. We ended up shooting actually two shots handheld, and the rest was sticks, dolly, and water dolly, which is what we ended up calling our small boat with the camera in it, which the movement in that regard is something that came from nature, came from the water. One of the things that I remember when we first started talking about the film with Nicolas is that he wanted widescreen. He told me that he would like to have even wider than 239:1. We tested lenses, we tested several different lenses, and among those we tested the master anamorphics, which are lenses that are, let's say, devoid of aberrations, of focus fall off, which are very clean, which give an image which is very pure, so to speak. That is something that attracted Nicolas immediately. He said something which I thought was very interesting about the lenses, is that with the wider lenses, what happens when you pan the camera is that it almost feels as if the camera is tracking, as if the camera is on a dolly. The budget of the film gave us a direction where we had to go lighting-wise. So we decided to shoot most of the scenes which were original nights with small lamps, sky panels, which we could also, in the middle of the jungle, operate with a battery and not with a generator. And in the town, we did have generators and we did have, let's say, bigger, slightly bigger units of light. But the sky panels were something which were perfect for a film like this, because you could just put them anywhere in the middle of the jungle, and that ended up being perfect for this film. The day for night scenes that we had give the film something very special, which I think even if I could have lit, miles and miles of river, they would be completely different scenes. I want images to be invisible. I want people to completely immerse themselves into what they're seeing. And I think that in this film, the combination of all these things, camera movement, choice of lenses, choice of camera, of supports, how we shot it, allows the viewer to really travel this river with Jose.